Today we're reviewing the Aegismax camping sleeping bag. So this sleeping bag stood out to me because I was looking for a sleeping bag that was both very compact and also very lightweight. Now there are a lot of sleeping bags on Amazon, REI, and other sites that are very warm and very durable, all the benefits, but they're not very compact. And they're not always that lightweight either. Now, having a sleeping bag that can become more compact was important for me because of prospects regarding bikepacking and backpacking. So I needed something that would be very, very small to fit into a backpack or something like that. Now, the Aegismax I discovered from others, specifically people on YouTube who were using this sleeping bag for their bikepacking adventures and things like that, because it can fold up into a very, very small shape. Now, this is a Goose Down sleeping bag. Goose Down isn't for everyone. Synthetic is the alternative, but I wanted Goose Down mainly because it's very lightweight while still being very warm as well. The main downside of Goose Down is that it does not like water at all. So if you plan on being in very humid or very wet conditions, then this bag may not be for you. But despite that, it is a very, very durable, lightweight, and just in general a very reliable type of bag. So this bag, because it is so compact and lightweight, it does not go down to very, very cold temperatures. The recommended low temperature that it's for is 52 degrees Fahrenheit or 11 degrees Celsius. However, on the more extreme side, it can go down to 43 degrees Fahrenheit or 6 degrees Celsius. However, I have seen a lot of people say that they've been using this bag even in temperatures as low as 20 degrees Fahrenheit or even lower, as long as they're layered up within the sleeping bag. So it does kind of depend on how you're preparing to sleep in this bag. But just as usual with no layers, it can go down to about 43 degrees. Now, despite the bag being relatively thin and very lightweight, I found that the Goose Down allowed it to be very, very warm, even surprisingly warm. As soon as I got into it, I found I was immediately warmed by it. It has 800 fill power with its Goose Down, and it has very, very soft fabric on the exterior. This makes it very smooth to the touch and very comfortable to sleep in. Now, I got the black large version of the sleeping bag mainly because of the height recommendation. There is another version in bright green, which is more of a medium to small sleeping bag for those who are under 5'5". The one I got was for people under 6'1". Now, this is not a mummy sleeping bag in the traditional sense, but it is very similar to one. It tapers at the feet and is wider at the shoulders, and it does nestle very closely to the neck and head, but it doesn't have a hood like a mummy sleeping bag would. Even so, it really wraps around the body very nicely. It has a zipper on the side, so you can unzip it if you're too hot or if you just want to adjust your position within the bag. And what I like about it, at least the large version of this bag, is that it isn't too constrictive. It's not too close to your body. There's still some room to wiggle around and toss and turn if you have to, so you don't feel like you're too restrained within the bag. The top of the bag also has a drawstring, which of course tightens around the neck and ensures that cold air doesn't go into the sleeping bag from the top. This is especially useful when it gets cold during the night or if it's just a cold day in general. There's also a Velcro strap at the top, which again secures the top of the bag and prevents cold air from entering the bag. One thing, if I had to say anything that I dislike about the bag, is that the zipper does not go all the way down the length. It only goes down about halfway, so you can't really use the bag as more of a quilt sort of design. But besides that, it's only a very minor complaint that I have. But if the zipper did go all the way down, it would be way more versatile. Now, for the weight, I'm very pleased with. The entire weight of the bag is only about 1.1 pounds. So it's extremely lightweight, it really doesn't get in the way. Plus it packs down into a very, very small shape. It even has straps to make it even more compact. So you could very easily put it in your backpack or pretty much anywhere just because it packs down so small. It also has a water-resistant coating across the exterior shell, which is important considering that this is Goose Down because, again, you really don't want to get Goose Down wet. Now, this isn't waterproof, it's water-resistant, so obviously you don't want to dunk it in a bunch of water, but if some water happens to get on it, it should be completely fine. Along with, if you happen to get it dirty or muddy, you should be able to clean it very, very easily, and it shouldn't be ruined. Now, one other thing that I have to say that is kind of a little bit of a downside is the bag that it comes with that allows it to be compressed. It does take a little while to fully stuff the entire bag into that smaller compressible bag. You really have to be a little meticulous about how you pack it. Really, the best way to do it is start from the feet of the sleeping bag where it's narrower and slowly stuff it into the smaller bag until you get to the shoulders, and then the smaller bag has a drawstring which allows you to secure the entire sleeping bag within that packable bag. But that does take a little bit of patience to do, a little bit of time. But for the bonus of having an extremely compressible and lightweight sleeping bag, I would say the extra time packing it away is definitely worth it, especially if you are backpacking long distance or bike touring or something where you really need to limit the volume that you're carrying. And as for the price of this bag was about $97, almost $98, which is actually a very, very affordable price for this type of bag. There are sleeping bags, obviously, that can go for $200, $300, $400, depending on what you're looking for. But for this type of bag, with this temperature rating, the weight that it has, and how compressible it is, I find that this is an extremely affordable bag, especially, again, if you're doing something that requires you to limit your weight and the volume of what you're carrying. And overall, I find that this bag is extremely comfortable. It has a very soft texture. The Goose Down adds a little bit of cushion, which is always helpful when you're sleeping on the ground. And in general, it's just a nice, durable, reliable bag. So I don't really have too many negative things to say about it, just besides the fact that the zipper doesn't go all the way down the bag and that it takes a little bit of time to pack it away. But besides that, this is a great sleeping bag. But that is pretty much all I have to say about this Aegismax Goose Down sleeping bag. If you found this video helpful, of course you can always leave a like and subscribe, and I make videos like this throughout the week, so don't miss those.